Morning. Good morning. Well, first thing I want to do is explain my thumbnail. My thumbnail is a chart of all the Special Forces crests that are out there. It had the reserve, 11th and 12th on there, groups, which are no longer active. They have the 19th and 20th National Guard groups, which are active. We have the 1st, 3rd, 5th, 7th, 10th. Ooh. And maybe the 66 company. I don't know. I have to look at it again, but that's all the Special Forces crests that are out there. Anyway, just wanted to say it's the 1st of April. So, April Fools. Now, I didn't get any tricks played on me because I haven't been any place, and I haven't played tricks on anyone because I haven't been any place. But I am just going to remind you that it's dangerous out there today, folks. Be on your guard. All right, I got a few things I want to show people. Gatita, I wanted to show you these because you were interested in them. So I will start off with these. I have 10 $2 bills here. And I'll just go through them real quick. They're not reprints or anything, but come on, get in there. They are really nice bills. No folds or bends or... put that over there with that. Oh, there we go. There's some nice bills, man. That's some really nice bills. And these are for Gatita, if Gatita wants them, because she was always saying something about like to go through her $2 bills. And I said, I might have some $2 bills for you. I think I got 10 of them. I think I got 10. And if anybody's really interested, I have a pile of $1. Let's get these out of the way here. Put them over here. I got a pile of $1 notes. I have this one note right here. Somebody may be interested in this. It's a Central Bank of the Bahamas, a $1 note. Not in the best of shape. It had been crumpled, but it's been pretty well protected ever since I got it anyway. We have that one. I have one silver certificate, I believe. It's actually in pretty good shape. It's not too bad. Yeah, it's been folded. It's well loved, but it's in pretty good shape. Then I got some foil notes here. Somebody might be interested in those. I'm not sure. But let's look at the $1, the $1 notes first. These are all star notes. And I don't know what star notes are worth nowadays, but I have star notes. I don't know how many I got. I think that's 2 of them right there. There's 3. Different banks too. That's the main thing. Oh, I gotta get back here. I gotta get up here a little bit. I don't know how many is in here, but I gotta look and see how many are in each little container here. There's only 1 there. Some of these seem too thick. There's only 1 there. We got 3. We got 4. We got 5. I think we got 6 star notes. Yep, 6 star notes. So what do we got? I got to get my old eyes to look at those. We got the Bank of Chicago. That's New York. This one is Atlanta, Georgia. And this one is St. Louis, Missouri. So there you go. You got star notes from 4 different banks, from 4 different Fed banks. Those are there. What else we got? We got some foil notes. I don't know if anybody's really into these foil notes or not, but I got a silver foil 20. I got a silver foil 100. I got a gold foil 10. And I got a gold foil 100. And I think I got some more coming. But if anybody's interested in those are sitting over there. And then what else we got here? Oh, I got one I got for my brother. I don't know if I'm going to get rid of this one or not. I might if Gatito wants it. We got a $2 Trump note. And it is a $2 note. Oh, but I don't know where this Fed bank is from. It's got the serial number B31819010 Alpha. But I don't know which Fed bank this is from. So maybe I can take a look at the green seal here and see, but no, it's just a Department of the Treasury seal. It does not have the Federal Reserve Bank on it, but yeah, we got that one too. And that comes in this nice little protective little holder thing here. This nice little protective holder with $2 bill facts and figures on it. So I just kind of put all my $2 bills in there to keep them straight. Okay, so that one's sitting over here. Then what do I also got here? I got 4 or 5 goldbacks. I don't know. These are Utah goldbacks. Yep. I think I got 4, and I got them all in here, all in this plastic, just to keep everything straight and stiff. And I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I got 5. 5 $1 goldbacks. And here's what they look like if anybody's really interested in them. Hi, guys. Danger, danger, Will Robinson. Yeah, $3 bills. I've seen them, but they're... No, that's not right, freaking. We're not doing $2 a piece. It's one you checked already? Yeah. So you checked it twice, yeah. And I don't know, that's what the back of them look like. You guys have seen them before, so put them back in their little case. And then I got one. You guys might, well, there's the guys from Iowa. Let's put it this way. The guys from Iowa might like this next one. Get in there. All right. The guys from Iowa might like this next one. All right. You see the envelope? This envelope was kept together. And that yellow sticker was from the auction that I got it on. But the stamp up at the top from Bancroft, Iowa Post Office, 6 cents, came from the Becker Kennedy Agency in Bancroft, Iowa. And you can see who it was addressed to, Mr. Dwayne Sant in Bancroft. This is out of his collection that was sold when he died. It was opened on the end right here to keep the envelope intact. But what I bought at auction was this note right here. Now, this isn't the actual note. This is a replica. It's a $1,000 note, Bank of the United States. It's a replica, but it was for advertising, so they gave it to customers. An insurance agency. I don't know. I bought it for a couple bucks. I thought it was very interesting. And the guys from Iowa might like to have something like that. I thought it was cool. I am from Iowa, so I bought some other stuff from his collection. Damn it. Ah, come on. Ah, quit it. There. I bought some other stuff from his collection, so I bought this one too. Nice ad. It's a nice ad. I think that's all I got as far as stuff to sell. Oh no, I do. I got this. I got a 1962 mint set. And you guys will probably like this. A lot of people like these mint sets. I don't, not especially. It's a Philadelphia mint. It's got your Kennedy, Washington, dime, all silver. Nice pretty penny poly. Nice red penny. Nickel is not toned. But I should get at least 35 bucks for that. Anyway, anybody can email me. And that's there. And then I got one other thing for today. I got to read this chat here. Freaking awesome. It's just blowing up the chat here. Yeah. He's all things Trump. I just gave him, he came over yesterday and welded a tank on one of my air compressors for me. So I gave him a Trump copper bar that I got. Yeah, that Becker agency was a neat little advertising gimmick with that $1,000 bill. Yeah, your brother would tell you that just to fuck with you. That's funny. Oh, God. Now I got one little package from Big T. I was on the auction yesterday because Durban didn't have an auction yesterday. So I was on Big T's auction and I bought one coin. One coin. So I got in the buyer's auction for $3. It cost more to ship it than a coin cost me. So I said wallet it. But every once in a while I get some stuff that I have him ship. There it is. Let's open this in. That I have them ship. So I don't mind walleting stuff. It's just simply that I forget that I got stuff with people. But if I'm going there all the time, then it's not a big deal. All right, that's empty. Throw that down there. Yeah, we did get a bunch of, looks like 90% stuff. Well, I got a Buffalo poker chip. Never saw that one before. Huh. Well, look at that. That's weird. Right there in the middle. You see that? I don't know what the hell that is. I got to look at that. Yeah, it's poker chips. Let me look at that. Looks like that's worn on the, it's just a rub on the coin. That's probably why I got it cheap. And it's got a little pick down there. So I'm thinking this is a silver tone. But it doesn't say on the back, but with that little pick down here at the bottom. And there is a little bitty pick right down there at the bottom. And I don't know if you can see that. See that little pick down there? Right at the end of the braid? I'm thinking that's a Silvertown logo. But I never saw a buffalo in a poker chip style before. So, see, there's a couple of rubs right there on the shoulder and the humpback, or the hip back there. So, and it's not in pristine shape, but it's kind of cool because I never saw one before. So that one will come up here. That'll go on a table. And then what else did I buy here? Well, I guess I bought 3 Kennedys. Let's get this out of here. There's a 64 Kennedy, a 32 Walker, and a 62 Benjamin. So we got a Benji. All right. Walker is well loved. That Walker is well loved. There is no feathers left on that eagle whatsoever. That's well loved. But it's silver. And I'm sure I got it cheap enough. So, and there's a toned up Kennedy. So I probably got it cheap enough. I don't know. But there's some silver that goes in the stack anyway. And then I got a couple other little things here that are in flip. So I got a 1943 S shilling from Australia. I don't know why I got this, but I just thought maybe it was neat. I don't know. I don't know where T gets these coins, but what is that, Georgia 6 on there? Yep, Georgia 6. I do like the ram that's on the back, though. If you notice, I don't know if you can see it real good. That ram. It's actually in really good shape. So I may keep that one. I don't know. It says it's 92.5 or 925 silver. So if I melt it, I got some more 925. I sent a bunch of scrap 925 down to Ginger and had Ginger melt it for me and make it into a channel round. I think I had like 37 grams or something like that. But it had it made into a channel round. This is Franklin Mint Collection. Franklin Mint Collectors Society. This is kind of goofy. I don't know I got this at all. Charter member, 1972. It's got Ben Franklin on it. It's got a coat of arms on the front from the Franklin Mint, and I don't know why I got this. If that should have been given away as a gall, but look at that. It's got that nice coat of arms on there from the Franklin Mint. But you see what it's got on the back, don't you? Franklin Mint Collector Society, charter member, 1972. I don't know why I got that. I have no clue. I don't collect this kind of stuff. So it might have come as a giveaway, which is what I'm thinking it probably was. But I will probably give that away as a DAL prize or something. I don't know about this Australian shilling, though. All right, anyway. Well, the biggest thing coming up today was showing Gatita these $2 bills. And I got some nice $2 bills, too. Don't get me wrong. I ain't got 10 of them. I could take pictures of them all and send them in an email, but I thought it would just be easier to do it this way. I just tell Gatita to watch this stream and there's some nice $2 bills, man. All right. That's what I got for bills. Oh, I got one thing. I am going to, here we go. I'll put this up here like this. One thing I am going to send to Kiwi. He likes his American. He likes his Benji, so I'm going to send him this. I bought this. I don't know when I bought this. A while ago. I got a 1962 mint set in this holder. Actually, proof set. So I'm going to send that to Kiwi. And then I got this thing for Ginger. Because Ginger's a dragon lover. I have this thing right here. It's from Bullion Max. It's a silverback. One silverback. And you know how Ginger likes dragons, so I'm going to see if Ginger wants to trade me for something. Because this says it's 1/100th of a troy ounce of silver in this note. See, they were going to do a goldback type thing, and I don't know if it didn't take off or what, but about sky art. What are you on about, bud? Hold up a second. I got to read this. Oh, sure. Population control. Good Lord, dude. They've been on about population control since when? The 60s? Yes, since the 60s. So, That's what the pandemic was all about. That's what the next one will be all about. Uh, that's what the next one will be all about. That's what spraying shit in the sky is all about. That's what crap in our fucking food is all about. Lowering testosterone, lowering estrogen levels. The legal system is stacked against men in marriage. So men are no longer getting married. I think the last stat that I heard from Redonkulous was 5.5 people out of 1,000 are getting married anymore. That doesn't mean they've stopped having kids. They're just not getting married anymore. So could be one or the other. But, you know, China's had its one-child policy for decades and decades. Now they're up to 3 children, actually paying people to have children now, because they saw the demographic decline in their country. And Germany, Italy, Russia, almost all of the European countries have had population declines so steep that they tried to up their population by having unlimited and unfettered immigration. And they were immigrating people from countries that don't have the same moral and social values as they do, as Western countries do. And I think they decided that they fucked up. Sweden became the rape capital of the world. And, okay, so yeah, they're going to release pandemics, man-made pandemics. And that might have not have been the original reason for doing gain of function research and all of that, but that's what they ended up doing with it. So anytime technology becomes so advanced that it can be used as a weapon, it will be used as a weapon. And that's why I don't like AI at all. I see Terminator type experiences coming for the human race. I won't be around to see it. You won't be around to see it. My kids won't be around to see it. But grandkids, great grandkids, yeah, they could be. I don't have any grandkids yet. And I'm not sure I want any. But yeah, all of it's made to depopulate the United States, like one of the rules on the Georgia Guidestone said, to hold the world's population at 500 million, and that's it. No more. Less would be fine, but no less, because if they have less, then they don't have the population large enough to control, so that they can take the resources from those people. Basically, we will become just what we started being. We started being, as a human race, we are genetically modified fucking monkeys. That's all we are. We were genetically modified, and that's proven by science. Proven by science. Evolution didn't do that to us. We were genetically modified artificially as fucking miners for the Anunnaki. We were here to mine resources for them. But one of those gods, Anunnakis, gave us the gene for reason and critical thinking, reasoning. We rebelled. They left the planet, except for a few watchers, which interbred with human females, produced the Nephilim, and had to be wiped out with a flood. We are their ancestors, and we're coming full circle. We are going right back to becoming fucking ignorant worker bees for the elites. That's what we're becoming again. Nah, I don't think Elon Musk is the richest person. I don't believe that. But and you have to also understand that Elon saw the writing on the wall. Elon is also a an entrepreneur above anything else. He might be a patriot, but he's an entrepreneur. And he saw the writing on the wall. Trump was going to get elected. Electric vehicles were not the way of the future. Like, well, he made Tesla because he thought that society might be heading that way, and that was a way to make a lot of money. Okay, why did if that was such a great idea, why did he venture into space? Why did he venture into other businesses? His space venture is that's just a way to offset the losses that Tesla is going to bring, because Tesla's going to go away. SpaceX, on the other hand, is going to take off because that's where the future is in space, and he realizes that. He's ahead of the curve on all this shit, dude. Everybody says, well, Elon's supporting Trump because of the electric car market, and he'll get market share of this and market share of that, and it's graft, and no, it's not. He just sees that the electric car market is not going to be his future. He's letting that go. Yeah, hydrogen coming at you is right, buddy. Hydrogen and fusion. Nuclear fission, atomic fission will go by the wayside. Fusion technology will be the way of the future. And hydrogen as fuel in the interim, that will be it, man. That will be it. Yep, I agree. Yep, the DuPonts, the Rockefellers, the Rothschilds, all rich families, all shape the world into what we see it as today. And they started with banking, of course. Then they got into businesses, railroads, oil, steel. What else, man? They were also some very forward thinking individuals. They saw the way the country was going. They saw the Industrial Revolution and what was going to be needed for it. Oil was going to be needed for it. Steel was going to be needed for it. Money was going to be needed for it, for people to use to invest. If you want to be rich, it's not what you're investing in right now. It's what you're investing in decades into the future. That's what's going to make you rich. If you can see what the trends are and what to invest in, and that hits, you're going to be a multi-billionaire. Just saying. How come, Gary, if that's true, then how come you're not a multi-billionaire? Well, I don't give a shit. I don't care about money. All I care about is enough to pay my bills. I paid off my mortgage. I got some credit card debt, but I could sell a few ounces of gold and pay that off. It ain't no big shit. I don't got any other. I drive a used pickup, and I work in a shop. I like my dogs. I like my cats. I don't care. I got 3 successful daughters. They all got great jobs. All 3 of them either have a house, have had a house, are buying another one, or are on their first houses. I got one daughter that's had a house, sold it, is buying another one. I have 2 daughters that are buying houses, have mortgages right now. So they're living the Gen X dream right now. I don't have any Gen Z grandkids, although I have some Gen Z uh, great nephews and nieces. But Yeah, I don't know. I just I don't care about money. Don't really care. I got enough that in case all my income right now just quit, I got enough to live on till I die. That's all I give a shit about. Yeah, I like Elon too. I think he is a modern day Rothschilds. He is a modern day um, DuPont, a modern day Rockefeller. That's what Elon Musk is. I put him in that same category. He is so forward thinking, so forward thinking. Yes. Well, and wars are going to come to an end too, because there's not going to be enough people to fight the damn things. And when we get to that point, then when we don't have enough actual human beings to fight the wars, they will all be automatic. They'll all be robotic wars. We're going that way with drones. We're going that way with battlefield robots now. Um, we have robots that explode and sniff out explosives. We have robotic dogs actually on the battlefield now. We are testing robotic soldiers. So all of that, if you really want to make some money, get into AI and robotics. Couple those two together. What do you got? Man, oh man, you're going to make some money there. Yeah, exactly. Rich is just a state of mind, dude. That's all it is. There are people who are evil, who want to control the world, who want to control everything that they can. Money is power. Power is the ultimate aphrodisiac, and power is control. And that's what they want. And as far as I'm concerned, that's evil. And if you really want to look at it, organized religions, and what are the three Abrahamic religions? We got Judaism, we got Christianity, and we got Islam. Those are all the three Abrahamic religions. Then we got Buddhism. We got what else we got? Come on, help me out. The Far Eastern religions, but they're all a form of control. You have this good thing, you have this evil thing, and if you do good and you are good, then you're going to go to heaven. You have this ultimate reward. Or if you're a bad person, you're going to go to jail, hanged, or whatever, but you're going to go to hell, or whatever their version is of that. And that's just a way to control the population. That's all it is. Now, it's not necessarily a bad thing because the laws in the United States are based on uh, Judaism and Christianity. Our laws are based on that, believe it or not. So yeah, it's good in some sense because you have to have bumpers. Like when you're bowling, you got bumpers in the gutters for kids and disabled people bowling. So you have to have boundaries. You have to have bumpers on society. But do you have to have total control? No. But that's what they want. That's what they think. For a healthy society, you have to have total control, like the Chinese have. No, you don't. Yeah, that is correct. Freaking awesome. And in Iowa, uh, ITR, Iowa taxpayer, da, 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 ITR. I'm a member of the group, and Jesus Christ. Anyway, we are fighting for tax reform in Iowa. The first thing we wanted to get rid of was the inheritance tax, which we have got the limit up so high that most people will never have to pay an inheritance tax. Next thing to do is to get rid of individual income tax in the state. And I see, which state was it? Tennessee just did that. Just did that. That's going to spread. That's going to spread. That movement will spread. Why? Because why do you need income taxes when not everybody makes an income. It's so very unfair the way it's structured. The rich don't pay enough. The poor don't pay anything. The people that don't work don't make anything. The guy in the middle pays 85% of the income taxes that run the state. Everybody buys stuff. Don't care what it is: clothes, food, boats, cars, UTVs, four wheelers, balls, bats, tennis rackets, tennis balls, guitar picks. Let's just go right down to small stuff. Toothpicks. Buy a box of toothpicks. Why not a sales tax on that to support the state to take over for the income tax? It can be done. It should be done. Yes, the arms race is a money grabber, but also look at the technological improvements to our lives that have come from that. Most of the technological advances in our life have come from weapons development, believe it or not. So there's some good and some bad there. The bad thing is when they get us into wars just so the military industrial complex can make more money. That's the bad part of it. And they fund both sides of the war. They fund both of the combatants on either side. So there's no national pride. There's no nationality. There's no anything with those people. It's just all about money. And with money comes power or control, power and control. So they're making money hand over fist from both sides and killing a lot of people in the meantime. So to them, we're nothing but cattle. We're just fodder. That's all we are to them. Now, where the hell was I at with that other thing? Control, religions, technological advances. And I don't know where I was at. I go off on tangents and I forget where I'm at. And yeah, there are 1,000, 10,000 religions, but none of them are actual, what I would call religions. There are only 3 Abrahamic religions. 3, that's it. Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. That's it. And 2 of those Abrahamic religions were founded by his legitimate son. And one of those religions was founded by his illegitimate son. Can you guess which one? And why did Islam come about 500 years after Christianity? Because Muhammad, being a smart man and a pedophile, of course, saw how that religion was actually controlling people. And he wanted that control also over the Arabic regions of the world. And so he created Islam. Yeah, Muhammad spoke to him in a dream, and Muhammad wrote. Do you understand how Islam so closely mirrors Christianity? It's amazing. Does Islam recognize Jesus Christ? Yes, absolutely does. But Jesus Christ was only a great prophet in their religion, not the Son of God. So, depending on your religious bent and whatever, was Jesus Christ a son of God? Could have been. Son of the gods, not a God. Is there an ultimate creator in the universe? Yes, there is. Otherwise, the universe wouldn't be mathematically possible. But yes, there's an ultimate creator or an ultimate race of creators. Was Jesus a great man? Yes, he was. I think he was a great man. Was he the son of the God or the gods? up for debate, but all historical accounts, being from the Christian side of things, make him the Son of God. So that's where your evidence comes from, anyway. Price of what? Um, Insurance. Let's talk about insurance. Insurance is a fucking scam. Always has been, always will be. Start your own insurance company. You can do that. You can insure cars. You're just going to have some money to back up for claims, but it's a pyramid scheme too. You think the insurance companies have enough money to pay every claim of every insured person that they own if they all claimed at the same time? No. It's a pyramid scheme just like the bank. It's fractional reserve insurance is what it is. Just like fractional reserve banking. Insurance is a scam, just like banking is a scam. Back in the day when banks had to have 100% backing for the deposits that they took in, then it was banking. But when they came up with fractional reserve banking, it no longer is banking, it's a pyramid scheme at that point. And aside, let's see. Israel became a country in what? 52, 4? When was it? After World War II. So Mossad wasn't invented until then. Our CIA did not come about, our modern CIA did not come about until after World War II. So have those two organizations maybe gone rogue? Because their CIA should be part of the State Department. And Mossad should be same thing, their equivalent in Israel. But have they gone rogue? Yeah, I think. Yeah, I think. Do they execute the president's directives, his policies? On the surface, they do. Underneath, nah, not so much. If they don't agree politically with the president's policies, they'll go their separate way because they think they know what's best for the world or the country, the world, whatever. We are, I think, in this great power struggle, there are three systems that are vying for power in this world right now. One of them is technocracy, like we have. We don't have a democracy. We have the illusion of a representative republic. The founding fathers did not want a total democracy because democracy is just two wolves discussing with a sheep what's for dinner. And they knew democracy would break down into nothing but chaos. So we have a form of government called representative republic. On a local level, we elect representatives to represent us in Congress with our wants, desires, and needs. Okay, they pass laws, gets passed to the Senate. The Senate looks at it and says it's a good idea, it's not a good idea, and they either ratify or they don't. They send it back for rewrite or they pass it, goes to the president's desk, and the president can look at it and say, you know what? I don't like this. It doesn't fit with my agenda here. So no, I'm going to veto this. And so he says, no, all that work that you guys did, bullshit. We're not doing it. That's why elections matter. However, nowadays you have the illusion of choice. You don't really have a choice. You have an illusion of choice. But then that bill can go back to the Senate, and the Senate can override the president's veto with a 2/3 majority. So checks and balances. And then that law gets passed, and somebody takes it to court and says, this is unconstitutional. This goes against the Constitution. And then it goes up the court ladder until it gets to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court is what they are to do is to decide the constitutionality of laws. All right. So every judge that sits on the Supreme Court should be a constitutional lawyer to start with, and have to work his way up through the appeals courts, through the local, state, federal, all the way up as a constitutional lawyer, not a contract lawyer, not a let's say, what do they call it? Personal injury lawyer, a marriage, divorce lawyer. No, as a constitutional scholar lawyer. And unfortunately, on the Supreme Court, it's become so politicized that I'll bet half of those people on the Supreme Court have no idea what the fucking Constitution even says, let alone what it means and what the founding fathers meant when they wrote it. Get yourself a fucking book, people, and read. Jesus Christ. Google and Wikipedia is not the final determination of what the Constitution is. Actually read the words of the Constitution, not somebody's interpretation of it. That's not a constitutional scholar. And that's one of the tenets of communism is to take over the education system and dumb down the population, which is what they've managed to do, managed to sneak a lot of communists into tenured professor positions, and they are indoctrinating children. That's all they're doing. And we've come, how many generations now? Probably 1, 2, 3, 4, probably 4 generations, 3, 4 generations of people that went to this bullshit college education scam that's going on. And those people are now getting into positions of power. So as far as I can ascertain, the MAGA movement did one good thing, and that's to make people aware of what's going on. Now people need to research, do their own research, and figure out what's going on. Yes, I can see it happening. I can see it happening. But what do I, as one individual, what can I do? I can come on the internet. That's one good thing about YouTube. And what I do here is I can sit and talk about stuff for an hour. Maybe, with enough subscribers, you can make an impact on 10 people. Maybe. And then those 10 people can do the same thing, and each of them make an impact on 10 people. And that's the way we educate people. Got to educate people to think critically about things. I was raised as a strict Catholic. I was an altar boy. I was actually an altar boy, a mass server at my mother's second wedding. So I was raised as a strict Catholic. But after being in the Army for several years and in Special Forces for 14 of those 20 years, I learned to think a little more critically and do a little more research. But it's not to say that I can't change my mind. I can change my mind. If you present me with evidence, that thing bothers me in the picture. It's not sitting right. Damn thing. Not sitting right. If you can present me with evidence and give me a clear and concise explanation as to why you think the way you do or what your opinion is, I can change my opinion. But you have to convince me. So you have to think about things. You have to educate yourself enough to be able to articulate your position clearly, concisely, with evidence, and you have to have the receipts to back it up. That's all. It still boggles my mind how many people think that COVID was not a weaponized flu, and that it was not released on the world's population on purpose. It just boggles my mind. It boggles my mind that people think that the clot shot was the savior to that disease, when all of the evidence points to the fact that it contributes massively to child autism, massively to young people dying of heart disease and blood clots, respiratory diseases, but mostly blood and heart issues, cancers, turbo cancers. It doesn't cause cancer, it just rapidly accelerates cancerous growth. Because that RMNA vaccine targets one specific receptor and makes it stronger at the detriment to all the other receptors that fight all the other shit in your body. So that allows those other cancers to grow. It's just, the RMNA vaccine was experimented on 8 mice. It was brought out so quick that it was experimented on with 8 mice. 3 of them fucking mice died, but it was still deemed safe to give to people. I didn't get it. My wife got it for her job. My daughters, all 3 got it. They didn't need it because of their jobs. They just got it. I was lambasted by my oldest daughter because I was putting everybody at risk here. And I was putting all the old people that my wife works with in a nursing home at risk here because I could get it, give it to my wife. She could spread it to all the old people in the nursing home. Fucking nursing home had its own outbreaks. It didn't have to come from me. I got COVID twice. The first time I couldn't really smell or taste anything, so I didn't eat anything. And I was really tired. I slept a lot for 2 weeks. But I take magnesium and zinc supplement. Plus I drink tonic water with quinine in it, which are all precursors for the drug for mosquito disease, malaria. And that drug prevented the clot shot or prevented the disease. So I did that. And then I caught it the second time, but I think I had it for 3 days. It was a cold, basically, was what it was. I wasn't tired. I could eat. I could smell. It was just a cold. but a turbo cold. So it lasted 3 or 4 days. But that was it. That's all I had. Uh, I went and had a rapid test one time because my daughter made me, and I didn't have COVID. And then after I had COVID the second time, I went to the doctor and said I want a test to see if I have the antibodies. I had the antibodies. So I'm good to go. Never catch it again. Oh, yeah, I eat what I drop on the floor too. Ain't no big deal for me. But for some people, it's like, ew, ew, and that's why, um, because I trap for fur and what meat I can get out of it, or used to anyway, before my legs are all fucked up. But I hunt, I fish, I trap, I butcher. Could be a cow or a pig or a sheep or a goat, whatever. I raised my own goats and butchered them for an Islamic guy, and we killed the goats in the Islamic way, the way he wanted it. We cut it up the way he wanted it. Not a big deal. Doesn't bother me at all. Smell of animal blood, sight of guts, doesn't bother me. I've carried dead human beings on my shoulder. Performed CPR on blue corpses. So it's not a big deal. The one thing that makes me sick is the smell of human blood. I just cannot stomach the smell of human blood. The sight of it doesn't do anything to me. The sight of a gaping wound does not do anything to me. But the smell of human blood makes me sick to my stomach. Now, that's saying something, because if I don't get sick smelling all the animal blood and all the thousands and thousands of animals that I've skinned, and guts coming out and car hits and you name it, that doesn't make me sick, but the smell of human blood does. I must tell you something about our diet. Anyway, I really don't know what else to rag on about today. I just wanted to come up and show Gatita, and I will tell Gatita to come back and watch this video. I wanted to show her that those $2 bills, because she had mentioned something about she likes to go through her $2 bills. So I got some. I don't necessarily collect them, but I'll buy them if they're cheap enough. So that's why I got this stuff, most of this stuff. I buy it because it's cheap enough. The only thing I probably didn't buy up here was this Trump bill from my brother, because he's a big Trump guy. He bought, I don't know how many of these he bought. He bought a bunch of them, and then he just handed them out to people. So good on him for that. But yeah, I'm going to send this to Kiwi. He'll get a kick out of that because he likes his American stuff. And then I'll send that dragon to Ginger. And that actually came from Bullion Max, believe it or not. I won that. So, and then I got all that other stuff for sale too. I got one silver certificate. I got all those star notes. I got the foil notes, plus I got the 5 gold backs. I don't collect that shit. I'll buy it if it's cheap enough, but that's it. That's all. Oh, I did. Yeah, I don't know if I showed this yesterday, I think maybe, or the day before. I got a poker chip in that package from Ida. Poker chip. You see that? See if I can get it closer, and then maybe it'll focus on it. Ah, damn, come on, dude. There you go. Bobville Coins. This guy's address and everything on there. That's what's got on the back, too. And that was in that package from Ida. And I didn't see it on the auction, so she must have just thrown it in there. But it's kind of cool because it's got cards around the outside. Playing cards. I don't know, kind of cool. Never saw it before. And I have my my chip tower. Because look, I have my chip tower, and that's all full of people's chips, plus my WWP one up here on top. I can set it back here, but I don't know. You can't see it. But I also have more poker chips. So I need another chip tower. There's 5, 6 there. That'll halfway fill up another chip tower. So I got to get a hold of Adam J, get another chip tower. I will put this Bobville one back here, just like that. So we'll put him on there just like that. One of the nicest ones I got on here. Oh, this one I found at the VA. This is from a VFW post. Let's see if I can bring out right there. Yep. American Legion Post 523 in Dow's, Iowa. I found that in the VA waiting lounge. But the other one I got on here that I'm really proud of is this one right here. Bikers Against Child Abuse, BACA. My youngest daughter, you know, rides Harley. She has 2 bikes, 2 Harleys. I got to get that in front of my face. There. And she is very into this organization, which I'm glad. I want my children to be involved in good organizations that do good for humanity, that don't do crap shit for humanity. Hey, Frostbite, what's up, man? I gotta go back and read, sir. Okay. I will put some of this stuff away. There we go. All right. I don't know what else I can bitch about. Yeah, I don't know what else I can do. I am going to have to go out. You know, it got cold again today. It was real nice. Then it started raining. It got cold again. And I'm still putting wood in the furnace, not burning as much. But, man, I want to be able to turn the furnace off here one of these days and get it cleaned out. And I got a guy coming this spring. He's going to look at the furnace and give me a wellness check on it because it is 11, 16 years old. And I haven't had it checked out before. Israel. I want to talk about Israel. Well, Israel as a country was a good thing. How they did the partitioning probably wasn't the best. But had to be done. There's one thing I want to talk about. How about the Palestinians, dude? The Palestinian people. Palestine was never a nation per se by modern day standards with actual borders and everything. Palestine was a big geographic area, kind of like the Ottoman Empire, which is modern day Turkey today, but a lot of other little countries. So now we have Yemen and Lebanon and Syria and Israel and Egypt and Saudi Arabia and Iran, Iraq. We have the Kurds, who are the other Palestinians. They want their own state. And then we have the Palestinians that want their own country. They can't live peacefully with anybody else. They're Arabic. Why do none of the other Arab countries want to take the Palestinians? Why? Answer me that. Why? Israel said, you guys can live here. We want you to coexist with the Jews, have access to the your religious sites on the Temple Mount, the Wailing Wall, everything. Just live here peacefully. And they can't fucking do it. Israel even set up a separate little enclave for them called the Gaza Strip. And then the other little enclave for them called the Golan Heights. They still can't live peaceably with the Jews. And it's all about religion. It's all about my religion doesn't agree with your religion. We believe in Muhammad and Jesus Christ, and we believe in God. Not so much Jesus Christ being the Son of God, but we believe in God because they're Jews, they're not Christians. And can you see in history how many wars have been fought, how many lives lost, how much anguish and suffering because of fucking religion, because of organized fucking religions, which is another reason why I don't support any organized religion at all. You can be a spiritual person, but you don't have to support any religious identity. Fuck it. I'm going to move my table out of the way here. Otherwise I can't move. All right. We got that out of the way. Now I can move my chair around, put my fucking feet up. Yeah, I really don't have a lot to do today, except I have to maybe go over to my brother's if he's out at the farm, and if he's out at the farm, because he lives in town. And the reason he lives in town is because there was an old farm place out there, an old farmhouse, but it was in such bad shape that it got burned to the ground and the basement filled in and everything. There's still a well there, but there's no electricity. There's electricity too, but it's not turned on. So he's not pumping water. And the septic and sewer lines are still there, but that would all have to be dug up and redone. And you'd have to know my brother. He's a penny pincher, a real penny pincher. And it was just too expensive for him. He got estimates about building a level, a ranch, no basement, just on a slab. And everybody wanted way too much money. And he just said, fuck you, I'll rent. And he owns the farm. I think there's 4 acres there, maybe 4 acres. Grain bins. There was a barn there that got torn down. The old barn got torn down, and the old silo. There was another barn, smaller barn, that got torn down. There was a hog house. The whole hog house is still there. The corn crib went down, and the cement block garage is still there. So he has a shop on one side of the garage, and then there's a 1-car garage on the other side. And he's going to redo that, put a new roof on it, and make that into a big shop. But and where the hell was I going with that? Oh, what I got to do today? Yeah, I got to go over there. Some of the stuff I got on Ida's auction, on St. Jude auction, um, is going to my nephew. It'd be his son. So I bought a lot of sports memorabilia for him. Oh, yeah. Basically, that's what it is, a refugee camp. But you couldn't live peaceably with the Jewish people, so you get what you get. Don't make a fit because you're gonna be in the shit if you do. Just the Palestinians can't live with anybody. They want their own country. I say we should give them their own country. We should find a couple of uninhabited islands in the middle of the fucking Pacific. Maybe the Bikini Atoll would be a good place to fucking round them all up and send them. Here you go. Here are your resources. Here's your land. Here's your water. This is what you got. Make the best of it. And the Kurds, I think, have more of a case for having their own country than the Palestinians do. The Palestinians are Arabs. They belong to, I don't know which Islamic sect, whether it's Sunni or Shia or probably Sunni, I would think. I don't know, but I'd have to look that up. But they belong to either one of two sects of Islam, Sunni or Shia. Okay. And then there are factions within each one of them, which are more religious or more lax. Just like Christianity. It's the same thing in Christianity. You got Mormons, you got Lutherans, you got Methodists, you got Baptists, you got fucking, it's a bunch of bullshit. It's all a bunch of bullshit. All organized religion is a bunch of bullshit. And you know, with control like they have, there comes abuses and there's corruption. In any organization that's like that. Our federal government's no different. Any communist governments, I mean, China, Russia, different forms of communism, but still totalitarian. North Korea, same way. It's just different levels, I guess. It's the same thing with religions, and all of those communist countries all have a lot of corruption and graft. That's, you know, you consolidate power like that, then that's what you're going to get: corruption and graft. And it's the same thing with any organized religion. Same thing. You'll find the same thing even local governments. We have one guy that had been on the board of supervisors for, God, I don't know, 30 years. Finally got him off through election. But he still won't go away quietly. He still bothers the board with stupid shit. It just, even school boards, you get people who are on school boards for so long that they think it's their own little kingdom. You see it in the South with sheriffs that are reelected, elected for multiple years. They think they can get away with anything. They think they are above the law. They think they're above the rules and regulations that we establish for them. See it all the time. I got arrested for shooting a deer with a legal weapon during legal season with a legal tag outside of my vehicle, but I shot from the shoulder of the road. There's one little piece of Iowa right up here in the corner that you can't shoot from the shoulder of the road with a rifle. And I was using a straight wall cartridge. I was using a 450 Bushmaster. All right, I'm guilty. That's just a little $100 fine. You're too close to my house. No, I'm not. Jesus Christ, I'm down the road from your house. Conservation officer takes out his little rangefinder and measures from my pickup to the house. He says it's 166 yards. I said, okay, it's got to be 200. Really? I don't have a rangefinder. I just have to guesstimate. That was the best guess that I had. Well, you're too close. All right, guilty. That's another little misdemeanor fine. And then he said, you were hunting with those guys way out there in the field, quarter of a mile away, right? I said, yeah, I'm part of that group. He said, well, you can't move your pickup while they're pushing through that piece of grass down there. What do you mean I can't move my pickup? If I got to take a shit or a piss, I can't fucking go someplace and do that? No, you can't. Where were you going? Going to town, because town is that way. They're almost done with that push. They got like 50 yards to go out of that grass. They're done. I'm leaving. But as I was driving down the road and I came on the other side of this place, of this big grove, there was a deer running up through the cornfield. So I got out, I stopped my truck, I parked, I got out, I shot at the deer, standing on the shoulder of the road too close to the house. Tried to turn it around so it would run back to the guys out in the field. It didn't want to do that. I could see it was going to come to me. It was going to come that way. I said, okay, I'll just wait. When it got up to me, I shot it in the fucking ditch. It made one bound on the highway and collapsed. Slid across the highway. You can't do that. I went to court. I didn't have a lawyer. I got found guilty. And depending on how big a buck's antlers are, you're going to get fined more if it's above 130 or under 150, whatever the fuck. It was a little buck, big body, but just little horn fucker. And when we went to court, the DNR officer said, I recommend that he gets a minimum amount, $2,500 and 80 hours community service. The fucking prosecuting attorney went to the judge and says, we have no way of tracking community service. So the judge said, okay, $4,000 fine, because that's the max he could give me. And they seized my rifle. They took my rifle. Brand new Bushmaster, fucking assholes. Anyway, I went to court without a lawyer. I got hosed real bad. And I thought, okay. They couldn't take my truck because I was outside the truck and it was stopped and parked. So they couldn't take that. Otherwise, they would have taken that fucker too. But the judge said, okay, $4,000 fine. You're going to give up your fucking rifle. And you're going to pay these other 2 fines and court costs plus that fine. You can pay all these fines off $50 a month until it's paid off. Okay. So I went into the clerk's office. I set up a payment plan for $100 a month. So $4,000, and that's 10% interest on the money I owe too. But that's cheap compared to a credit card. So I could have put it on a credit card, paid that off, or taken an ounce of gold in and sold that, but I'm not going to do that. So you fuckers are going to wait for your money. So I'm paying them $100 a month for as long as it takes to pay off that $4,000. I paid the other two fines immediately, paid the court costs immediately. That amounted to a couple $100, not a big deal. But then you give me $4,000, and I don't even get the fucking deer. So I'm paying them off $100 at a time. I think I got a year left, something like that. But they're not getting their money out of me, not like that. They're going to have to wait 4 years to get their fucking money out of me. And in the meantime, I cannot hunt, I cannot trap, I cannot fish, I can't do fucking shit outdoors in Iowa, in all 50 fucking states and Canada. I can't even go to Canada. You talk about an abuse of fucking power, that's it. I got fucking hammered for a hunting violation, not for a fishing violation, not for a trapping violation, and it was in Iowa, not any other fucking state or Canada, any other country. But yet, that's the outcome. So you talk about fucking abuse of power. That's a fucking abuse of power. And the fucking Iowa DNR can suck my fucking balls, and I will work until I die to get some fucking accountability in that fucking department. Them fucking assholes, they can kiss my motherfucking ass. That one game warden, he can suck my dick. That lawyer can suck my dick, and that judge can suck my dick. The game warden we had before, this one we got now, was a decent guy. He was a decent guy. This one's a motherfucking dick. So, anyway, that's my story. And I worked for the government for 26 fucking years. I bought back 6 years of my military, active duty military service. So I can, because that's actually active federal service also. So I bought that back. So I had 32 fucking years, and I could retire at 56, which I did with 30 years, with the 6 years that I bought back. Because I can't stand fucking government. Government is fucking asshole. And what Elon Musk is doing and Trump is doing by eviscerating these departments and going after the fraud and corruption is wonderful. But I want to see fucking people in jail. I want to see them in fucking orange jumpsuits in federal prison. These motherfuckers need to go to jail. And you think Joe Biden and Hunter Biden and Dr. Jill and his brother didn't all benefit from that fucking corruption? They sure did. They can all go as accomplices. How about fucking Hillary and her private server and bleaching and destroying those hard drives after she was told to preserve them? She needs to go to fucking jail. She fucking sold fucking Stinger missiles to Libya. One of those missiles went to Afghanistan. One of those missiles was fired at a helicopter. The warhead didn't go off. Trace the serial number back to the cache arms that was in Libya. That's why the fucking diplomat was sent there. That's why any of the rescue missions that were sent when the embassy was under siege were called off. Because Hillary and her State Department sold those fucking missiles to Libya, which was against the fucking law. So you talk about when those fucking upper ones go to jail, then I will say that something's being done. But until then, nothing's being done. It'll just be fucking business as usual. So we'll just do it on a restricted budget. That's all. Until the American people aren't looking, and then we'll slowly and incrementally increase the fucking size and budget again. Oh, if I was monetized, this would be demonetized for damn sure. But I don't think they can censor me for misinformation because it's not misinformation. It's all fucking true. And it's all verifiable. So fucking have at it, YouTube. Have at it, Google. Fuck you guys. And that's why this is not kid friendly. You never know what I'm about to say because I have a potty mouth. I call it my military mouth. In the military, using the word fuck is an art form. And we use it every other word for every other thing. It can be used as a verb, adverb, a noun, a pronoun. It can be used almost as an entire sentence with variations. So all of my videos are age restricted just simply for that reason. The only 2 or 3 videos I've ever had taken down was when I actually touched a gun. Physically touched one with my finger or with a pencil pointer or something, but actually when I touched a gun. I could have a gun laying out on the table, not a problem as long as I don't touch it. So if you're a kid under 18, please leave and thank you. Yes. Yeah, gold's going to go up. Silver's going to go up. I don't know how long they can maintain the manipulation on silver. Maybe for a few more years. I don't see it holding for another decade. I don't think they can do it. I don't think they can do it. Why is gold as valuable as it is? Because gold is malleable. It's a good conductor of electricity. It's beautiful. It doesn't rust or tarnish. It's pretty rare. But the main reason why it's valuable is because somebody else wanted it in our distant past. And that was the Anunnaki who had us mining for it. And that's why we still revere gold to this day. That's why we still revere gold to this day. Why is it the only other tier 1 asset along with United States treasuries? And I would dare to say that gold is more of a store of wealth than United States treasuries. But see, treasuries are all backed by good faith and credit of the United States government. Well, what is that? That's nothing. It's backed by the good faith and credit, the GDP, the gross domestic product of the American people. That's what it's backed by. The government has nothing to do with it. The government's a fucking middleman, an intermediary. That's all they are. Silver tarnishes regularly. It's a byproduct of mostly copper mining, but other mining as well. Probably not as rare as gold in the Earth's crust, but still a wonderful metal because it is the best conductor of electricity of any metal that we know of. Any of them. So, for that reason and that reason alone, it will always be at the top of the list of industrial metals. Lithium, and another thing with silver, it's antimicrobial. It benefits your health. Now, the one that's been getting the most play lately is lithium because lithium is lithium batteries, lithium ion, which is the pinnacle of our battery technology so far. And electric vehicles, electric anything, nothing is going to break out technology-wise until battery technology takes a gigantic leap forward. Boom. All right. Lithium is poisonous. They give lithium to mental patients. Why? Because it fucks with your brain. Lithium is dangerous to humans and any other living thing for that matter. And lithium burns hot and puts out a noxious gas. All right, so lithium off the table. You want to invest in it, you can invest in it, but I wouldn't. And that's my opinion, not advice. Not investment advice, just my opinion. What do I invest in? Not GLD, not SLV. I invest in Sprott. Okay. What does Sprott do? They mine silver, they mint silver, but they hold silver. They store it. So they are backed by their silver reserves. I invest in 3 or 4 major miners and a couple of minor miners that may or may not make money. I don't know. And one financial instrument. I forget which one it is. It's a fidelity fund. But that's all I invest in. I have invested in 4 startup companies. 4. One went bankrupt, so I got 3 left. One is pretty regional down south, so that one's not made me any money at all, but they're still a viable company. I got 2 other ones, and one is Next Gen Technologies, working on battery technology, and the third one is a freshwater company, Origin Clear, and that one pays me a dividend every month. So 1 out of 4 ain't bad. 3 out of 4 still up, ain't bad. Guns with silver and gold inlay, those are the ones that you collect. You put in a case, you display. Those aren't really for using. There's really no sense in using them. There's really no sense in paying the money they get for them, in my opinion, when a simple, plain piece of shit will do just as good. And that's why I buy a lot of Bear Creek Arsenal, Anderson Lowers. Now, granted, they might not last 100,000 rounds like maybe some more premium manufacturers, but am I going to shoot 100,000 rounds? No, I won't. I'm gonna slap a scope on it. I'm gonna slap a red dot on it. I'm gonna sight it in for hunting whatever little animal I want, and I may shoot it 2, 3, 4 times a year. That'll be it. Do I need a gold or silver inlay weapon for that? No, I don't. So I would rather spend the money on my optics, barrels and optics. But yeah, we talk about there's a lot of shit in the water nowadays. And I would strongly advise people who are not on a well in the country. See, I have a well, but then I have 1, 2, 3 filters in the basement, and I'm going to get a Berkey for on the countertop also. So after it goes through the 2 filters and catches all the large and then smaller sediment, then it's going to go into the Berkey to catch all bacterial. But if you live in the city and you're getting processed water, you should probably have a filter on your incoming main, 2 or 3 filters on that main that takes out microbes and all the little creepy crawly things. And of course, all the big sediment, little sediment, but get all the creepy crawly things and the bacterium out. But then you're going to have a water filter that sits on your counter that you pour your water through that'll get rid of a lot of chemicals, because there are birth control drugs in the water. There are ED drugs in the water. There are mental health drugs in the water. There are all kinds of drugs in the water that people take and ingest and then defecate, urinate, flush, goes to the sewer treatment facility. The liquid goes through another treatment facility, and you're drinking that, but those drugs are not taken out. All the bacteria and most of the all the little creepy crawly things are taken out, but they treat those with another chemical. So you're also ingesting that. So the best water filter I can say to get that out would be probably a Berkey at this point. So what did they put in water to start with? Fluoride. Fluoride for nice, strong, healthy teeth in your enamel. Bullshit. It was for killing creepy crawlies in the water. That's what it was for. A side effect might have been healthier enamel, but fluoride is a derivative of fluorine, and fluorine was a gas used to kill people in Nazi Germany. Developed by Pfizer. Let me see. Who was the drug company? Bristol Myers. And then Bristol Myers, and then Pfizer was bought under that, brought underneath that. But that company was started during Nazi Germany, in Germany. So, and now you have them making COVID shots and boosters for you. No, thank you. I don't think I wanted to do that. And they were the one that came up with fluorine and fluoride, and there you go. So, you know. No, it's not an April Fool's Day post. This is not. We're talking about serious shit. I thought about doing an April Fool's Day post, but too much work. I'd had to move this table out of here. I'd had to bring up the I'd had to bring up the turkey that's over there, and Mr. Otter that's over there, and Mr. Muskrat Beaver that's right there. And I would have brought up some other stuff. There's a turkey on the other side of the wall over here. I could have brought her up too, but I didn't do it. I didn't do it. So, yeah, I actually could have dressed up, and too much work for me. I'm too old for that shit. I'm too old for that shit. Do I look like I'm going on 60? I'll be 69 in April, May, June. Jesus Christ, two months. God damn. April, May, June. No, 3 months. Sorry. I'll be 69. What's on the community page? Don't know. You know, when I started this video, I was perusing YouTube and I didn't see anybody on. So there's stuff that's scheduled, and I clicked on notifications and everything, but I didn't see anybody that was up. So with nobody up, I decided I was going to come up. Oh, you know what I didn't do last night? It was so late when I got in the house. My brother came over and welded my tank on my air compressor, and busted off my fucking intake. So I got to go buy another intake. And then I got to fix where I had my, I had a poppet valve on there for overpressure valve. I broke that off too. But the tank is steel, and the extension I use for it is brass. So it's going to be hard to get that fucker out of there. I think I'm going to have to drill it and retap it. But because brass, I can put an easy out in there. But see, what that does is that expands. And brass is so soft that it expands with it. And it just tightens up in that hole, and you'll never get it out. So you have to drill it and then tap it and get it back to the original threads. And I have to go to a hardware store and maybe see if I can find an intake for that thing. You're tearing apart a monitor. How do you mean? Are you skinning it and laying the skin out on a board and putting borax on it? You know, you've fleshed, you've taken all the fat and the muscle off, and then you put a nice inch layer of borax on that thing and dry it out. And then once it's nice and dry and stiff, you can turn it over, and then you can do a clear shellac on it, and then pin it back to the board. Well, you can do it on both sides, but then pin it back to the board and make a nice wall hanging out of it. I've done that with snakes before. Hey, sunfish for fish. My favorite panfish in the world, bluegills. And sunfish and red ears and, yeah, rock bass. And my favorite fishers and my favorite eaters. You raise them there. You raise Gila monsters there? Really? You know, I don't know if the motherboards do or not. When I take shit apart, like computers, monitors, and whatever, I destroy the hard drives, of course. I torch them, I beat them, whatever. Take them on a saw, cut them apart. The hard drives are destroyed. I save all the electronic boards out of my whatever I take apart. Stoves, washing machines, dryers, refrigerators, monitors, computers, anything. Because it's all got some silver, some gold on it. But where I take my stuff now, my metal and aluminum and all other shit, the recycling center up there, recycling yard, they won't take the computer boards anymore. So I got to find some new place to take them. I don't know if they just decided there wasn't enough return on investment there or what, but any other metals I can take there. Aluminum cans, aluminum, anything, brass. Even if you have ammunition brass that you don't want to reload, like 9mm, I don't reload. I just pick it up and put it in a box and take it up there. But they want it separate from any other brass that you have, because a lot of that metal goes to China for processing, and they don't want any ammunition casings going to China. That goes someplace else. So, yeah, I keep all that separate now. But I didn't know that when I started. But hell, they even buy that. So, brass, copper. They'll buy wiring of all kinds, like all the cords from cameras, from monitors, from all the electrical cords, all the visual cords. I keep all that stuff, man, and I recycle it all. They'll take it all, but they won't take the boards anymore. So you raise bluegill and warmouth. You got your own little pond. Is that what you got? A little, I call it a pond, maybe like 2 to 5 acre lake, or I call it a pond. I got a question for you, freaking awesome. What do you think of the stories about we've always had stories about UFOs and some of those aliens being reptilian, as opposed, we've had small grays, reptilians, we've had the large whites, the tall whites, and I don't know what other ones, but there's like 8 different races. But lately I've been seeing stories about reptilians from the center of the earth, not the center, but underground. They live underground. in big caves and hollow spaces. And they were here before the human civilization. What was it was a 4-part story. Lilith, I think, or something like that, where she did an interview. But see, they can walk among us, but they are not supposed to have any contact with us. But they can be among us, and they can control our mind to the point where we see them as a human figure, pretty much, not 100%, but 99%. And they live underground. They come out. They do their roaming around, do their business, and they can walk among people because they can control how they look, or they can control our minds how they look. And they were here before humans, before the human race was even thought of. What do you think of those stories? No, if I saw The Last Starfighter, I'm not sure. I haven't watched TV or seen a movie in fucking years, so I don't watch regular TV. I watch movies on my computer. Tubi is one of my favorites because it's free. I watch a lot of podcasts and YouTube stuff. So I don't know, man. I don't. Is it possible? Yeah, it's possible, I suppose. Did and how about the Antarctica stories? Did Admiral Byrd really see a hole in the earth, the South Pole, fly into it, and go visit all the descendants of the Germans that supposedly went there after World War, or during the end of World War II, with UFOs? I think that's all stories, but why would Byrd make up stories like that? Anyway, I know that the Operation High Jump that he was heading, they left there in a hurry. They did not stay there to complete their mission, which was scientific research. Um, so I don't know, and it's already been disproven that his diary was not his; that was fake. So I don't know, man. What was the question? Oh, a reptilian race that lives in the earth, in caves, big cave tunnel systems in the earth, far under the surface. They come up, they can look like us, they can make us think that they look like we do, pretty much 100%, not quite. But they're not supposed to have any contact with us, and they go underground. They have a central pillar that controls their heat and their light and whatever. And yeah, just a reptilian race that was here before the human race. It's an ant mound floating in space. Yeah, I guess you could look at it that way. So yeah, there's a lot of, and I really get a kick out of watching videos by flat earthers. But the Earth is not shaped the way uh, science and popular media depict it. We're kind of more elliptical than we are round. We're not perfectly round. We're elliptical, so it's just Yeah. Well, it's all about money and assets. Assets, I should say. Money is an asset, but money is based on other assets like gold, silver, minerals, food, water, assets like that. That's what money is based on. Actually, money's based on debt, but you know how that goes. How is money created? Ask somebody that. How is money created? Through debt. Don't believe that? Go to the bank and borrow money. The bank takes that loan. They didn't give you anything except digits, electronic digits. They added digits to your account. That's all they did, right? They didn't give you cash. They gave you digits. You go out and see the bank adds that to their asset side of their ledger, right? Because you got to pay them back. So that's an asset to them. And you have to pay them back with interest. So you're giving them back more digits than they gave you just for the privilege of borrowing those digits. You know, when you borrowed actual money, then interest made sense. But in the electronic age, it really doesn't make any sense whatsoever. But then you take those digits and you go out and you buy more digits from other people. And then they take that money and they buy more digits. And then some of those people may have to get loans for other things and they get more digits and they go out and spend them digits. And every time money is loaned, it's creating an asset. But it's not really, because once you pay that all back, it comes off the asset side of their balance sheet. So money is created through debt. That's how it's done. Monetary systems created by the churches. I'd have to go back and when did we go from a barter civilization to trading shekels or shells or sticks or stones or whatever and say I was hungry, I needed food? When did we go from trading our labor or help for food? So that person gave us food, we gave them labor. When did we go from that barter system to bartering with something that was of perceived value other than labor? I think we probably might, and I have to research this, but slavery has been dominant through all of history, still is today. All right, as much as people don't want to hear that, there are still open air slave markets in the fucking Middle East. All right, but how did we go from trading my labor for food? Instead, how about if I trade you this person for the food or this person's labor for the food? So we traded something for something instead of actual labor. Then how did we go to shells or whatever, or gold or silver or shiny marbles? You know, how did we go from that to that? That I would have to look that up. I'll bet it's before organized religion, before churches. I would almost think. But as far as creating actual coins that were backed by a government entity, like the king, this is the king's money, this is the crown's money, this is this ruler's money. Before we went to that, how did we get from barter to that? That's that period right there. God, I would almost think that's before organized religion, because before Christianity there was Judaism, right? And the Jews still had money. The Ottoman Empire still had money. The Austrian-Hungarian Empire had monies. And I'll bet the Chinese Empire, Mongols actually had monies. But I'll bet that was more gold, silver, and then later copper, brass, bronze. I don't know. I would almost think the metals would be what they could work with at the time, or they had the technology and knowledge of. So I don't know. That's a good one. That and prostitution, yeah. Well, that's trading a human's work for, let's say, for food. So instead of me trading my labor for the food and I'm getting the food, I am trading this person over here providing the food with this person's labor, whether that's sexual or whatever. So that's still a barter. Hmm. Bartering of assets. Yeah. Remember what I said earlier about becoming a billionaire? You want to become a billionaire? Just think 20, 30 years into the future. What are you going to need then? That's what you invest in now. What am I doing to get rich? I'm not doing anything to get rich. I don't care about getting rich. But what I do care about is gold, silver, platinum, palladium, all the platinum group metals. I even want some osmium one of these days. One of these days. Just a little piece of osmium. Just one, maybe three. Three. Okay. Everything I have's got to be divisible by three. So all the girls are all going to get 1/3 of what the guns are worth, 1/3 of what the optics and accessories are worth, 1/3 of all the gold and silver that I have, 1/3 of the land that we have here in this house, 1/3 of all of our assets are going to my children. Our children are getting 1/3 of our assets. So everything I own has to be divisible by three. So gold, silver, platinum, palladium. And I just got my third gram of palladium. I have 3 grams now of palladium. I want 3 ounces of palladium. That's what I want, 3 ounces. And then I will work on rhodium after that. I explained earlier why gold is expensive and why we consider it a tier one asset. Rarity, beauty, malleability, um, conductibility. There's something else. There's only one other, I think, asset that conducts electricity better than gold, and that's silver. But you see a lot of phono plugs, audio plugs that are gold, not supplying the electricity, not routing the electricity in the circuits. That's mostly silver. But gold on the audio portion, I've seen a lot of that. So, and gold was what we as human beings were made to do. We were made to mine gold. because the Anunnaki needed gold to take back to their world to repair their atmosphere. They got enough out of us, and then they left us alone. I mean, they left a few watchers here to watch over their experiment and see how we developed. But when they took human wives and made the Nephilim, then the watchers said, "Nip, big flood, kill them all off." But they didn't quite get the job done because there was Goliath and Goliath's brother. There were still some the giants left in the land after the floods, but they soon died out. And I'm almost thinking the reason that they did die out was because you can cross a donkey with a horse and get a mule, but they're sterile. You can't breed a mule with a mule and get a mule. So I think the Watchers breeding with humans probably produced a sterile offspring, which were the giants, and they eventually died out because they couldn't breed enough of them. So I think that's why they eventually died out. But that's why we revere gold, I think. My battery on my phone. Battery on your phone's dead? Okay. Got about a minute left. Okay, we'll take out. We'll go, bud. We've been on for 2 hours. See you later, man. All right, everybody out there, peace. Be safe. Stay strapped.